Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Captain of Industry. There's something here that I would like to tweak a little bit today, and we're definitely going to get thermal desalination going, so we need to start moving on our water. Water is becoming a bit of a problem. I'm going to tell you about what I'm going to do here in just a few minutes. Now, first things first, I'm pausing the game. We are running out of water pretty quickly in terms of the reserves over here. And one of the things that I did recently switch off to save on a little bit of Unity was the wastewater edict. So it's time that I effectively do that. So number one, it reduces water consumed in settlements and farms by 20%. Then number two, reduces water consumed in settlements and farms by another 10%. So that, I'm not sure I'm keen on that one. I may or may not do some of the others. So we have another round of edicts, but it's basically the next level up of them. So I think we're okay for now. So I'm running that edict to see how that goes in terms of stopping our mining a little bit. Now, we've got a few things here. Not enough maintenance. All of the sudden, that has happened. Let's have a quick look at what's going on with maintenance. So we have a global need of 231. What is going on here then? We're not moving enough. Okay, we'll have a quick look. 231 is the global need, but we can produce 374. So that should really work. So I'm not too sure whether that is really an issue. The issue is our input isn't coming through quick enough. So what is the situation here? What are we missing? We're just not doing it quick enough? Really? Is that really the case? Oh, this is out completely. Okay, well, let's boost these two. To be honest, remove the boost. I think I may instead upgrade them. So let's upgrade that one. We'll do a quick deliver. We'll see what that looks like. So that goes from 12 to 12. That's 12. What? How come this one isn't any quicker? Right. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. Why? Why is this one not any quicker? It should be quicker, right? Should definitely be quicker. Okay, research is done. Thermal desalination. We're going to make our way to that in just a minute. We're definitely going to look at the power generation as well in this one. Is there further edicts that we would like at this point in time? Shall we go on to fertilizer 2? Recycling edicts gives us... recycling edicts. Yeah, I'm not too keen on that. Rotary kiln for gas... makes us use limestone and fuel gas for cement, which is an interesting one. I'll come back to that and see how that differs from what we've got at the moment. Salt production can lead us into electrolysis, which is what we would need to potentially do a little something with our naphtha if we're not just putting it straight back into the yeah, it's only 12. 12 plus fuel gas, actually. So that might be okay. It might be okay for us just to leave this at this desalination stage. Salt production is something that would be of interest. Then we also have fertilizer too. We have tons of this stuff. So maybe that's what we do. Head into fertilizer. But we don't have a problem with this just yet. So maybe we'll hold off on that one a little bit. Fermentation is not something we did in the past, but we could potentially do what? Use corn mash and oxygen to get ethanol. And ethanol can be used in a few different things. We can basically make rubber from ethanol, which is quite an interesting one. I'm not sure we need any of this stuff just yet. I'm not sure we need any of that. Super large storage would be of interest, but I'm not sure that's a key thing for us. The rotary kiln is a pretty interesting one. to say the least. But fertilizer, I think, might be about the first one. Otherwise, chicken farm, which will also need a bit of salt, to be honest. So probably not quite yet. Probably not quite. Biodiesel. Well, that's an interesting one too. Ethanol and cooking oil, where I have no idea how we get cooking oil, probably from a process over here somewhere. No, not at all. So I have no idea how we do some of these things. Biodiesel, cooking oil, get it into actual diesel. Not sure how that's going to work. But we'll leave it there. Let's just pick something that is of use to us. Ship's bridge gives us what exactly? Better radar for area exploration. Not something I think is super urgent for us right now. Salt production will let us go into glass making. So I think that is something that is of interest. So let's go into salt production and then maybe fertilizers from there, or even naphtha reforming or electrolysis would be of interest. So back again at this, I'm still not clear on what we achieved over here. It's taking more workers, more power, and it's not doing anything in terms of providing these things quicker. Oh, we could run it with steel, though, which we couldn't do with this case. Can we downgrade? No, we can't. So the only thing that I can think of is we end up boosting this thing, and that should at least double that production a little bit and make this move a little quicker, and hopefully we'll get our maintenance sorted out. We still have too much sulfur. Our groundwater is a bit of an issue, and then we have no mining designations over here. Yes, absolutely. That was kind of the intent. We didn't have any mining designation. I think this ramp is going to do us for now. Is this thing absolutely full? Yeah, it's absolutely full. I may do a bit of an upgrade here. Let's have a quick look at what our parts look like. Actually, this wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's do a bit of an upgrade there so we can store a little bit more of that at a time. I am going to release a lot of these vehicles, and I'm going to assign them back to continue clearing out this. I'll get both of you guys in, and we'll just get like 4 of them in here. And if it goes a little slower now, it's not too bad. Thermal desalination is done. Now, desalination. Let's quickly pop into this and have a quick look at what thermal desalination processes we have. So we've got the seawater pump, and we have a seawater pump tool. I'll have a bit of a look at that. Might be an interesting difference between the two in terms of placement. And then we've got thermal desalinators that can take seawater plus steam and create water plus brine. And the brine is something that we'll use to create salt in the longer run, but in the meantime, we'll probably just push the brine back into the ocean. We create, less with steam, low, basically. Oh, we just use that much less. Ooh, this is an interesting concept, because that means we could actually use the low steam and run that directly into the thermal desalinator, and we don't need anything else. That's an interesting one. So if we go over here, we are producing 24 steam low, 24 steam low. And I quickly go back to that process. So we've got 48 low steam here. This one only needs 12. 12 low steam to generate a little bit of water. So if we run 4 of them, we're using all of that steam to generate a lot of water and not that much brine. So that might be of interest. That'll end up giving us more water than just getting the steam back in the cooling tower, right? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That is generating 12 from 24. So that's 24 in total. Versus this one is going to give us, tons, 48. 48 times 2, 96. Plus a little bit of brine. Which we can, I think, just put back into the ocean. So I think that's what we're going to do. So let's quickly have a look at these water pumps here. So one of the spots I would like to do a bit of water is here. And that is pretty close to our steam, or our steam low, which I think would be a good use for us here. So let's have a quick look. So this is just the seawater pump. If we go over here and have a look, the tall seawater pump is way more expensive. And I don't... Oh, it's just off a major cliff, basically. So it's basically if you're up on a mountain here somewhere. Something like that. Yeah, so it's if you can't reach with the other one, so we don't need that. But the thermal desalinator, we'll do a few of them. So we can do like run 4 thermal desalinators over here. So how much is going to come in from the seawater pump? That does 120. These needs 21. So we can run 4 of them off of that. So that's awesome. So I'm thinking we rotate it like this. Oh, actually, no. We rotate it like that. We flip it around. That is kind of the intent. But what we'll need to do is we'll need to run multiples and then dump them out, right? Now, the question is, we could also rotate them a little bit like this and give ourselves a little bit of room here. And then we can potentially flip it around again and have a look at this. Would this be more beneficial? I don't think this is going to cause us anything, well, not much better. So let's see about this stuff. So if we place it, well, so if we do something like that, right, that means we're kind of running out of this situation here. Then we will require a liquid dump. Can we squeeze in a liquid dump anywhere sensible? We cannot. That is quite interesting, isn't it? And we certainly can't do it this way. Well. That is not ideal. We've got a liquid dump all the way on this side, and then I don't even think we can do it over here unless we might be able to. Ooh, that's way too far back. Potentially that means we can. Still not, doesn't want to go in there. Ah, I see. This one has been pushed back a little bit more. That is of interest, isn't it? We can't change any of this. So let's just try that again. Find, see if we can't find. That's. We can actually squeeze it in right over here. Okay, well, let's, we don't have to have these right like this, right? We can try and, yeah, so we can find ourselves a little bit of room for our liquid dump. Kind of right over here. Now let's bring it in a little closer to this side. Actually, if we do that, question is, can we do something? Just said ship access is blocked. Okay, so that doesn't actually work. Good that we've seen that. So now so that's a bit of an issue with the ship access. If we find a spot for it here, still, my goodness. Okay, so that is a bit of a challenge. We won't be able to do the liquid dump in this general location. So potentially we could try and, well, the issue is the steam is over here, isn't it? Could try and do a dump on that side. I feel it just has to work. Yeah, nothing works here. This thing blocks everything. This thing just blocks everything. Try one more time. Somewhere over here, maybe. Yeah, it just doesn't want to. It just honestly doesn't want to. There's nothing we can get to make this actually work. So we'll, yeah, if we do it there, let's see if it we get the same kind of thing. So there we won't actually get it, but it feels like it's a little problematic there though. If we do it here, Yeah, still block. Anyway, I should just use the cut tool, right? Like that. So that we could potentially do. So we could potentially squeeze it in over there. Oh, no. It's still blocking that guy. We do that. Yeah. Now it kind of works, but this is blocking everything else, really. Wow, that is unfortunate. So we've got it over here, the dump, but we don't seem to have an option on this side, unless we actually run it all the way over here. So we could potentially do something like this and run it to this side. Yeah, no, definitely doesn't want to work. So we could do something like that and dump it out over there as brine. And so we'll have to run a bit of a pipe through this section pretty up high so that vehicles can still get over here. So that is potentially our option here now. So then from there, we'll go back and grab ourselves the desalination, thermal desalination guys. Now, what we need to remember now is we will, in fact, want to run the brine into that direction. So I'm kind of tempted to now use the maximum space I have, or almost the maximum space I have, and run the 4 of them over here. We'll run pipes on the ground and a little bit up top. We need a fair bit of them, so we're definitely going to need a pipe 2 at the very least. So let's quickly, let's try and, oh, actually it doesn't want to. Oh yeah, it runs into trouble fairly quickly. So no. Now I think that's a little. So it honestly just doesn't want to go in that spot. Is that a? Oh, it's a little bit of an increase in the size arrangement. So my question is, will we be able to get? Okay, we can actually test it from here. We'll go up a level. No, let's just go up a level from the start, and we'll run it there, and then we can actually get it in there. Okay, that's good. No, don't do that. So it doesn't actually want to do that. Okay, so let's trim that back again. All of that, get rid of all of that. I'm kind of tempted. We'll move it forward by 1. So let's grab all of this stuff and move it. And now I'm not sure where exactly that was, but I'm assuming it was about there. Now let's try that one more time. Yes, I believe this should work to even get the steam down from a top level there. So if we do something like that, actually any one of them only needs to be a pipe 1, but I think that's going to be okay. Now, on this side of the spectrum, I believe what we want to do is run our steam out of here. So what I'm going to do, this is all of our power at this stage. So what I think we need to do is run our pipe up down there first. And I'm kind of wondering, do we do it over there, or do we just run it? To be honest, the right thing to do would be to run it straight through there. Okay, well that's fine. So what we will do, how much steam does this thing take? It takes 12 steam, so it's going to be 48 steam that's going to run here. So that's going to be a basic pipe, right? A pipe 1. So I would like to see, where are we going to run it from? It's basically going to run in this location here. We'll go up a level. And then we'll run it. We'll drop it down a level and run it. We won't do that. So we'll do it up to about here, and then we'll. Ooh, no, go down, go down. We'll tie it in over there. Up a level. Tie it in over there. Yes, that's going to work. Up a level. Tie it in over here. Excellent. Up a level. And tie it in over there. So there we go. So that's our low steam going to run in this way. We'll have to run brine out that way. How much brine is this going to be? This is just going to be 9 times 4, so 1836. So that's definitely going to be just a pipe 1. So I'm quite keen on grabbing it about 3 away. We'll run it up to there. We'll tie in here, there, and there. That's our brine. We'll actually, what are we after? What on earth is that? Okay, so now the issue here really is we're going to be running it down. No. Through this section, and then I'm going to hug the edge here. I think that should be sufficient. Now it needs to go up a level to. And we'll do a little something like that. So now the trucks can actually get in there. It's a little untidy here. And to be honest, do we really need to run it quite like that? I think, you know what? I think we need to. Yeah, this is a. We'll start it on that side. And at least just do the one switch over. Can we do that? Yeah, that's going to work. Yeah, I kind of like that. So that means you can actually get into this area because you will need to be able to come and drop some stuff off there. So that's going to be okay for that alignment. We will need to then provide water, which I think I'm just going to go into that system over there. And what we'll do is we'll switch off the other side of things. So what we will do is run water over the top of this. Bring it down, bring it over, and then we run it in here. Yeah, that's the plan. Now this is going to be tons of water, so this will be a pipe 2. Let's not connect onto stuff. Okay, let's leave it there for the time being, and we'll fix it up from there. Now we'll get this to connect in at the top level. Yes, please. At the top level each time. It kind of automatically goes to the top, it seems, because that's where the pipe 2 is at. So that's all linked in. That looks pretty good. Now. Oh, beautiful. The second level is kind of all good. We don't need to go any higher than that. And then what we'll do is we will tie it in over there, and that's going to be fine. So from that, we just need to make sure that we also upgrade all of these pipes. And then that should do the trick. So now all of this should work, apart from the fact that we don't have that connected. So we'll get all of this built. I believe we're going to be all fine with that. So let's go ahead and get all of this stuff built. Okay, we'll also get all of that built, and we'll also get all of that built. And we'll get all of that built. So let's get all of this stuff built, and then we'll have some water so we can replace what we're losing over here. So we can kind of sever that connection, and that connection will only then run this side potentially. We'll see how that works. This is going to cost us a fair bit of power to do, though. So we do need to bear in mind that may not work from the perspective of the cost. I mean, the power cost. Once we get all of this built. And that would have cost us a fair bit of these part 3. So that's going to run some other stuff again. Now, let's quickly get the ship underway again. Actually, does it need to be repaired? We'll give it a quick repair. And then we'll send it out again. This stuff is practically all built. We're still struggling with the maintenance. Is it still... Oh, look at that. That number is getting up a little bit higher now. We can switch the other one on. Let's switch the other one on. Well, we'll remove the boost and just unpause it. So we'll run the other one. And then hopefully that will generate a little bit more maintenance for us. Okay, all of this is done. So these things should be full of water and no steam whatsoever. So what I will do is I will... I'll actually remove all of these guys. Noting that we're going to immediately have issues with power. So let's quick remove these two. The others can take their time to get removed. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue out of the way. Perfect. Now let's get this pipe connected. Believe that should be no problem for us, actually. Let's just drop it down. I think that's okay. That's going to be all fine. So we'll unpause them and we'll unity build them so that we can get all of that to work. There we go. This filling up with steam. Yes, no, maybe. Yeah, there goes the steam. You can see it there. The desalination should now be underway. So there should be a fair bit of water going out that way, and then we've got brine that's going to eventually be dumped over there. But it's a marginal amount, so that should really keep everything nice and full here. I'm going to go ahead and pause this pipe so that we, well, actually, maybe not this one. Maybe we'll pause that one instead. Running out of power. Yes, desalination is a pretty big ticket item. So what we'll do is I'm going to upgrade a couple of these tanks just so that we've got a little bit more water capacity here. Excellent, that's pretty good. So now I'm hoping that desalination will actually continuously run. Look, it's not a full pipe, but it is at least 24, 48. It says 96 water every 60 seconds, which should be half. Well, it should be 2 of those pumps. It should be 2 of those pumps at least. So I think that could work, because how much water does this stuff take? 612, actually. So we may still have to run one of these, I think, if we want to keep it going. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on what's happening with our water. But this is all running, and we're actually using the existing steam that we have to generate, to desalinate some water. Pretty cool, though. Pretty cool. Now, as a last thing in this episode, because that's kind of happening, what's happening with our maintenance, just keep a quick eye on that. This stuff is okay. Yeah, this stuff is still being a little bit problematic for us. So let's Let's boost that a little bit more. Have we got a proper boost running here? Yeah, that thing should work. So can we actually upgrade this to a better conveyor? Yes, we can do that. So let's do that. Do a bit of an upgrade there. So we'll move these things through a little quicker. Upgrade a few of them to see about continuously moving these things. So let's get a few of them upgraded, and even that one upgraded, and I believe, and maybe even that one, and even this one. We'll just upgrade kind of all of them there. So we should be moving these things a little bit quicker. This will now empty fairly quickly. So now I can go ahead and run the boost over here and over there and over there. And hopefully we've got all of this moving fairly quickly also. Yeah, that's fine. It just means that we can get the stuff in here pretty quickly, and that means our maintenance should not be a massive problem. No available places to dump. What are you trying to dump, buddy? Dirt? You can't dump dirt anywhere? Okay, all good, all good. We'll continue to build this thing out since we don't seem to have... there's a spot for dumping, unless it's been assigned to some other bits and pieces. So we'll do that so we can eventually put in an extra one. We might keep continuing, extending that. Okay, that's all good. So that should allow dumping. There's no available designations. Okay, so that one is done. I'm not sure we're going to need to dig that one out, so we need to give these guys some new work, which is okay. We'll find something for them to do. I'm pretty sure these will run a little quicker. Yeah, that's backing up a little bit more now, which should get our maintenance up to a level that is pretty decent. Okay, good stuff. What's our water doing? Yeah, actually, our water is not quite as healthy. So what I'll do is I'll unpause this one. And what we'll do is we'll switch off one of these guys. And actually we'll switch off one of these guys too. So it's just going to be the one that's going to run through here. That should have enough there, and continue to provide a little bit more water for that. So that is not even a substantial amount of water, even though we are desalinating that. We can obviously switch over to the steam high, which will give us double the amount. So we might investigate that a little bit later. Well, it's going to give us double the amount if we go to steam high. So that's okay. We'll see about that then. These things are spinning, and our power is just holding on now. So power is going to be the next one that we need to have a look at. The ship is fully repaired, so let's quickly send that off to a next stop for us. So we found this guy, which is good. I'm happy we found that. Do we head off into this direction? Let's go ahead and explore that one and see what we get from that. We do still have crude oil ready to go. Look at all the diesel, guys. We've got plenty of diesel ready to go. And now I believe we should be getting these reserves up again. I think that's going to be comfortable. Yeah, look. We're filling up the water here. That's awesome. And I think one of the things we can potentially do... Wow, this thing means this is working. Wow, interesting. We'll at some point, I think, put some pipe balancers in here, so that this is the last to send water down this way. That would be good. That's okay. I think that is going to be okay. Now, what I wanted to do here is actually build a new setup for Steam. I'm not happy with what I've got here for Steam, so what I'll do is we will remove our Steam setup. Actually, I think what we'll do, let's start it off with the Steam setup. That is going to pull water from that side. So let's remove that. I'm comfortable to remove all of this. We'll leave those in place, so that's okay. What I will do is I'll get rid of that piece, and I'll get rid of this piece. And what is this? This is pumping something out, which we'll need to double check on. This is bringing something. We've got a bit of a ship's battle underway. How's it going? yeah, we're doing pretty well here. Wiping them out. Nice. We found some people and not much else, to say the least. So that's unfortunate. Can't battle this guy. So let's go back home and keep doing that. Now, this was what was going out from. That was the heavy oil. The heavy oil. So let's run the heavy oil back. We'll come on. We'll run it back to about there. That's the heavy oil. I'm kind of tempted to do a bit of a major steam setup over here, noting that we'll have to run desalination again over here and run steam back to that desalination component. We may even run it in this little chunk here. We'll see how that goes. So I want to do multiple steam setups. So let's go in here. So we'll need a boiler. And we'll probably do it a little something like that because water is going to come in from that side and steam will run back into that direction. So if we do it approximately here, we'll then need a steam connection on like the first level. We'll see. We should be able to do a pretty decent job of this. So I'll do one like this. We'll flip one around and we'll do it, let's say over there. And then do I run a coal boiler also? We'll flip another one around like that, and then we'll run a coal boiler also to potentially prime the thing. Is that a pretty good spot? And then what we'll do is we'll run a pretty enormous steam pipe. Well, not an enormous, just a fairly big steam pipe that I'm comfortable to actually run on this first level here. And what we can do is we can, in fact, actually put a pipe balancer in here. That actually is pretty good. And then how much steam would each one of these actually provide? 48. So no more than 48. So that's a 1. Like that. And that's a 1. And then that is a 1 over there. So now we're balancing the different types of steam coming out. And we'll do a pipe 2 and we'll feed it in there. And now we've got a fair bit of steam production ready to go. Now what we will need to do is potentially run these guys back. Salt is finished, so let's quickly move on to the next piece. So now that we've done salt, we can move to glass making, which is what we definitely want to do. So let's start the research on glass making. And we're probably getting towards the end of this episode. So now we're going to have a proper big kind of steam connection. Now, in order to, let's just go back and have a look at what the desalination will require of us. So we don't necessarily need as much. We need 12, right? So it's only going to be a pipe 1 to run into that general direction. And that gives us 48 water. How much water does this take? Each one of them potentially takes 48 water. So I think we're going to need at least 2. And we can probably do a bit of an expandable setup over here. So if we look at desalination, we'll run steam in from this side and then water and brine. Okay, we'll need a dump for the brine. Actually, if we just do an evaporation pond that's not heated, right? We can just do brine into that and just slowly get salt from it. Okay, that's fine. But how many do we get? How much do we get? Brine. From steam high, we get 24 brine. And that means one of these for each one. Okay, so of interest would be that we will have to potentially do a couple of these things over here. So what I'm going to do, we'll run this stuff into that general direction. So we'll do 2 of them over here. And then we'll do kind of two of these guys next to one another here. We'll do a little something like that, right? That's going to be all good for us. And this will be 24 brine each. So what we'll basically do is a smallish, fairly smallish pipe from here. Come on. We'll do about that much. Yeah, that's going to be all good. This is actually going to look pretty nice like that. So that's a pretty clean setup right over there. We will need to run the water back in the other direction. This will actually need a pipe 2 though. That's going to be, yeah, that's going to be 48 at least. So this will be a pipe 2. Not on the ramp though. If we run it there, this guy will just tie in there. Actually, both of these don't need to be the pipe 2s, but doesn't really matter too much. Now, if we're running all of these things together here, I think what we'll need to do is that level 2, is that level 1, 2? Yeah, so that we could actually run this up to level 3. Yeah, I think that's about right. So we'll run this up to level 3, and we'll go over the top of this. Up to about there, and then we need a couple of water tanks over here. This is also going to bring water out this way, so we'll see about it. We can just tie it in over there. So now let's get a couple of water tanks over here. We'll go with the big guys. Yeah, we would like to make sure that actually actually there is sufficient room here. So let's do that, and then yeah, we'll probably just need to run a pretty large pipe off this way. Actually, let's bring it back by an extra 1. And these can just be single pipes like that. There we go. Excellent. I believe that one should pretty comfortably move in there. And now the question is, can we up at height 3? There we go. So there we go. So that's actually putting the water back. So now we've got a bit of a water loop going on over here, and that is going to feed the steam in. Now all we need to do is sort out our setup with some of this stuff. So we'll see what's going on over here with the next stuff. But now we should have a pretty robust steam pressure running, but we still have to run steam back into that direction. So they're still needing, that pipe still needs to come all the way back. So we will have to have some things still to fix over here. I think this setup is going to be pretty good. I'm not sure I'm very happy with that. We may need to change that a little bit up, but I think that's okay, because this is the idea is that if we need more steam, we can expand that one in that direction, and if we need more diesel, we'll expand this thing in this direction. Hopefully that will kind of sort things out, and we'll have salt and all of these things sorted out. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Slowly planning this refinery out, but happy that we've got desalinated water ready to go, and our water production is looking pretty good. And if we look at this guy now, it's over 40% now, or just over 40%. So slowly we are getting a little bit more renewable with regards to our water, which is a bit of a comfort to me. I do need to set up another power source on that side. So there's so much happening, and I think everything else is actually holding pretty nicely. Our maintenance is back up to a good number. I can probably drop some of these. Yeah, I don't necessarily think we need the boosts anymore. So what I'll do is I'll remove a few of these boosts. That's all good. Is this thing all filled up? Nice. So I'll go ahead and remove all of these boosts over here. Probably that'll be okay, unless we start building this stuff again. So that should help our Unity situation out a fair bit. This thing seems pretty comfortable as well. So let's remove the boost over there. And that's all good. Oh, and look at this. Fertilizer is all good. So let's drop the boost on this one as well. There we go. Multiple boosts have been removed. We could probably see about boosting some of these guys a little bit. But there we go. So now many of the boosts have been dropped off. So we should be pretty good with some stuff here. We may need a bit of a boost over here. So let's squeeze a couple of boosts through here to just get that thing up those numbers up a little bit more. Well, guys, I will leave it there. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.